Good morning. Good morning. It's currently 5:56 a.m. So yeah, 6 a.m. Sun's been out for the last 90 minutes or so. Couldn't really catch my sleep. Had like naps, but I digress. Today I wanted to talk about something I've developed along this path of introspection, reflection, and retweaking of certain schemas, mentalities, and thinking habits. So, there was a moment where I sat with myself and I wondered, like, what do I want to do with my life? Am I on the path that I want, that I really, really want, where every day that I'm doing it, I think to myself, shit, man, this feels good, right? Vocation stuff. And I've been really lucky to kind of stumble into a career that, I'm not gonna lie, it grew on me, but now it is a passion. But the main point I wanted to get started on were those, aforementioned pillars. First one being, not everyone's problem is your problem. And it's not necessarily to be, how could I say this, self-absorbed or narcissistic, you know. It's just more like taking care of yourself and realizing that the amount of space or capacity that one has to internalizing and absorbing all this different stuff and events, right? Everybody has their own capacity. Some for more, some for less, right? But yeah, I guess the main point would be more along the lines of fasten your own mask before helping others with theirs. Kind of vibe, like, how are you going to lead people? How are you going to improve lives? You know, how will a shirtless man give a shirt? Love and serve yourself with the same devotion, tenacity, and vocation that gives you so much joy when you help out others. This is the second one. And I'd also like to say, this is more something personal that I wrote for myself that I just feel like sharing with whoever may happen to be interested in this. That's all. If you get something out of this that you like, that's a bonus for me. That's fantastic. Right? Onwards. And this is something more for me that I've discovered is that I I was so caught up trying to be good, to feel good. Like pursuing the meta. That along the way I had neglected to practice basic mental, emotional, and psychological hygiene. Right? Which I guess brings me to the next pillar of love yourself every day. And this again was more for me along the lines of just, if I don't love myself, who could I love? Who could I love? Who could love me? All these, and this is my opinion, mind you, but I feel that all these internal things, it's like, there's no general rule of thumb to doing it, right? Each person finds their mountaintop at a different time. And yeah, just remember, love yourself every day. The next one is honor all of your emotions. And I promise I will get back into that. Next one. Observe and identify thoughts before investing emotions. So I guess, briefly, I could say that it pretty much explains itself in the sentence. Observe the thought. Identify the thought. Make a decision as to how much emotion you're willing to invest in it, and do your thing. Alright? Next one. Practice taking stock. Click. Of your achievements, virtues, and values. Now, this one, it is definitely more of an art than a science, in the sense that try to practice healthy mental habits, behavioral habits, right? They're all connected. What we think, what we feel, what we do. So it's always good to keep in mind, like, hey, I've done this, I've experienced, I know how to do this well, right? I've done this. Because those times, they will come where I'll just be like, again, what am I doing, right? But yeah, man, just love yourself. And one of the ways of loving yourself, beyond, treating yourself to like a tea or whatever, is just keeping in mind your progress. All the progress that you've been able to have, or in my case, I'll speak for myself, that I've been able to have in my journey. Right? And all I want to do is possibly document this and help other people. Help other people that could use a little guidance in getting more of the tools that they need to be where they want to be in society, in their heart, in their head. Next one, pretty much repetition. Practice thinking habits that lead to fulfilling outcomes. Pretty simple, it's not necessarily like avoiding or ducking or dodging the truth or anything, or just living like that ostrich life, head buried in the sand. It's like, practice loving yourself by practicing good health with yourself. Right? Because sometimes it's good to be a little strict, but like if it's all the time or if it's super intense or super harsh, it's just like doesn't help, man. Doesn't help. And it creates a belief in the end instead of creating, substance to fight this inconfident or non-confident belief with my own will and determination, right? Like, I don't know. You guys tell me if I missed a beat here in making sense of that. And finally, one thing that really helped me was meditating as often as possible. And no coffee, no sugar, no junk, no drugs. Just find a place. Get in a position you can be in for at least 45 minutes. And this is what I do, right? Just find my place, get in my zone, breathe, focus, and off I go. And what I've been finding in these meditations is that I have this inner truth or higher being, and they live in a great place, surrounded by nature, and it just, at the time when I was, meditating and had gotten into a almost, I guess, trance-like state, I was able to have a vision of my higher self, and it inspired me to incorporate it into the new blueprint of, who I want to be, like what outcome I want to be living, right? Because I also believe that our life is the sum of the decisions we make as well as the ones we don't make, right? Inaction is also a decision, blah, 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 blah. Now, going back, because I asked myself this as well. How does one honor their emotions? Can this be explained in a process? Can it be explained empirically? Because a lot of these things, they're quite subjective. A lot of it's based on a feeling. So here's my attempt at breaking it down into some steps. First one, ground yourself. This means, again, find a spot. You can sit, you can sit on a chair, you can sit cross-legged. Like it doesn't have to be entirely monastic.